Hi guys, Tracy here. I hope everyone's doing well. Um, so, I wanted to talk a little bit about being alone versus being lonely. And is there a difference? Is alone being lonely? Is lonely being alone? Hmm, interesting, right? So, I had a breakup year and a half, little less than a year and a half ago. And first, it was just about really like uh, breaking up and cutting those ties of codependency and really letting go, working on codependency, really doing my work there. And first, just codependency, because many people say, oh, I'm not codependent. Mm. Well, if you say that, I would challenge you to truly look at yourself, because each and every one of us are codependent in some way, shape, or form. Just depends on the extent of it, right? I mean, we're codependent of maybe what a boss thinks or what society thinks, or a significant other or a girlfriend, or who knows, any of the above, or anything, as far as just feeling like that person has more weight on their perception of myself than the weight of my own perception of myself. Their idea of me, or their thoughts of me, are more important than my own thoughts of myself. And so it was, I think especially in relationships, it's really easy to get codependent and put other people's needs before your own and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm here to tell you that's outdated. That is outdated in a relationship. I don't want anybody to put my needs before theirs, and I sure am not going to put their needs before my own. It's backwards. It shouldn't be that way. So, after the breakup, went through the whole working through the codependency, and then my whole intention after that was to get really good at being alone. So I did that. I got really good at being alone. First, I did all the healing, went through all of the breakup stuff, and then I was there though, and I was good at being alone. I wasn't needing or wanting that significant other anymore. I was moving through my life. But what was missing? What was missing? I needed to fall in love with myself. Being good at being alone doesn't mean you love yourself, or that you've fallen in love with yourself and fallen in love with your life. What an experience. I dare you. I dare you to fall in love with yourself. Every part of yourself. That's the good, the bad, the ugly, the pretty, the joyful, the bliss, everything, all of it. My physical traits, my craziness, my bipolarness, my bliss, my inspiration, my passions, all of it. Not shy away from any of it. This is who I am. And loving every bit of me, every single cell. That was the next process. So it was letting go of codependency, getting good at being alone, and then, okay, that wasn't enough. Now I need to fall in love with myself and fall in love with the life that I created. This life that is, it's my creation. So, being alone, being lonely. If you're lonely, are you alone? Not necessarily. So, if you're lonely, I've been in few relationships where At part times, I was lonely, but I wasn't alone. And if I'm alone, am I lonely? No, I'm actually happier being alone than being lonely in that relationship that I was in, or that place I was in, or whatever. So being alone and lonely are completely different things. And you can get good at being alone, and then you can get really good at falling in love with yourself. So it's not always easy. I mean, we all have dark sides. We have things that, we want to hide from the world. But that's where the work comes in. We're pulling up, we're uprooting all of these beliefs and patterns within us that weave their ways into our life and actually create chaos in our lives, and we don't even realize it. So these dark side, these things that we hide from the world, we need to make friends with them. We need to make friends with our dark side. We need to embrace it. We need to love it. If you're continually fighting against something, it's going to continue to just come at you. That's a law of physics. I don't know which one, but it's a law of physics. I forget which one. Newton's third law, I believe, actually. Newton's third law, where there's an equal and opposite reaction. So same, it's energetic. So if you're pushing against something, if you're not wanting to see something in yourself, if you're not wanting to become aware, if something's trying to come up and you're like, oh no, that's not true, that's not, I don't want to deal with that, I'll never deal with that, let's deal with it later, whatever the case may be, it's just going to keep pushing and create havoc on your life. So it's much easier, it's scary for sure when these things come up, but it's much easier to embrace them and look at them honestly, be honest with yourself, and understand that I have that dark side. I've not been a good person my whole life. There's things that I've done that I wish I wouldn't have done, or I would have rather have done differently. Either way, whatever the case, love that. Love that part of you. Anytime there's a little feeling of angst coming up where you're kind of like unsure or not really have come to terms with it, allow it to, and just sit there with compassion for yourself. This is how we fall in love with ourselves, is all of that dark stuff, all that stuff that comes up. Instead of running, instead of hiding, instead of pushing it down, which creates toxicity in our bodies, we allow it to come up with grace and gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for showing me this, because it is one more step to freedom. And as we deal with this dark side and we make friends with this dark side, we accept ourselves completely, totally in our brilliance and our darkness. And as we do that, we start to see our uniqueness in this world and what we are here to do, what we have to share. And it's beautiful. Each and every one of us is unique and special. So, I dare you. Fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with your life that you've created. And if you are unable to fall in love with your life that you created, then change it. Because you have the power. We are power. And enjoy. Enjoy this beautiful existence that we have been given. In these times, out of these times, regardless, We have the power. We create our reality. So make it a good one. Get creative and enjoy yourself. Much love. Many blessings. Love you all. Take care.